At A4 Fitness, I'm Adam Lerner, boxing and MMA coach, and the probably most long-awaited video I'm about to shoot right now, super exciting, how to wrap your hands. Alright, so everybody's been asking me to do a hand wrapping video. I wrap their hands and I explain it and they go, oh cool, can you do a video so I don't forget, because they tend to have issues repeatedly ending up doing something different than what they learned the first time around, which is understandable, because it is kind of complex and doesn't have to be done exactly the same way every time, but I want to give you guys the best idea of what we're trying to accomplish as you're wrapping hands. Alright, so what we're going to do is go ahead and put that wrap around your thumb to start with, and then we're going to start circling the wrist. What we're trying to accomplish here as we circle the wrist is stabilizing the wrist. Okay, so we want to stabilize the wrist, we want to cushion the knuckles, and we want to build a strong link between the two. So as I go up around the knuckles, I'm going to use this knuckle and this knuckle on my ring finger and index finger as my mark as I circle my knuckles. That's going to keep it so that when I start to bring my wrap between my fingers, that wrap stays high, and when I make a fist, it's going to be on the front of my knuckles, so there's cushion on the front of the knuckles rather than cushion all the way back here on my hand, which doesn't do anything for me when I'm landing a punch up here. Alright, so once I've created a little cushion there, and again, if you want a little extra cushion, you can go back and forth and create a little extra like that. I prefer not to have a whole bunch of cushion on my knuckles, so I'm just going to go around 2 or 3 times, and then I'm going to bring that wrap right back down my hand. Alright, once I get down around the wrist again, I'm going to come back up through each finger one time. So I'm going to start here. Every time I come between the fingers, I'm going to go ahead and make a fist. So I'm going to go between the fingers. Now this part's important. I'm going to come off to the side when I go between the fingers and not straight down the middle, because I want to maintain a position where I can make a fist all the time without it bunching up and blocking my fist. So I'm going to go, instead of here, I'm going to go to the side, I'm going to make a fist, and then I'm going to come back around the knuckles, back down around the wrist, stabilizing the wrist, and then back up through the knuckles again. Now I'm coming around the right side of my right hand, so I don't want to go through the same finger again, and I also don't want this to slide off the side of my hand, so I'm going to come around the outside, again not blocking off the palm, and then I'm going to come around through one of the other fingers there. Now as I come through the finger, I'm going to make a fist, so everything's being built into that fist, and I'm going to come right back down around my wrist, stabilizing my wrist again. Right? After I go to stabilize the wrist and build that link, I'll come back up one more time through the last fingers that haven't been covered yet. Again, making a fist as soon as I get through the fingers, so I build everything into that fist. And then I'm going to come back down around my wrist. Now I'm going to get my thumb in there, make sure that my thumb gets stabilized as well. And again, building that link so the wrist is as stable as possible. Now as I go around the thumb, I'm going to do the same thing as when I went around my fist or between my fingers. I'm going to make a full fist. I don't want this thumb to be sticking out like this, so I'm not going to wrap it like that. I'm going to make a fist, and I'm going to wrap it nice and snug with it in a fist position. Then right back down around the wrist again. And if I have a little extra wrap, then maybe I'll come right back up around the knuckles one more time, but still leaving the palm open, and then back down around the wrist, and I'll finish up at the wrist. If you feel like you want a little extra stability, then you're going to put that Velcro portion of the wrap right at the joint, right at the wrist, and that's going to make it nice and tight and stable, because there's no elasticity where the Velcro is, so it's going to make it a little stiffer around your wrist and a little more stable around your wrist. It's not necessary, but it will help out if you're trying to stabilize the wrist a little more. Alright, so the important points: the palm is open to allow me to make a fist. Okay, I can wrap my fingers around that and make a complete fist. The wrist is stable, the knuckles are cushioned, and there's a solid link between the knuckles, the wrist, and the thumb. Okay, so it feels a lot like a cast on my hand. Perfectly formed fist, stabilized wrist, cushioned knuckles. That's how you wrap a hand for a boxing or MMA fight. Thanks, guys.